considering mental illness as an option. Okay, I'm recording into a new file, sorry. So I'll continue, this is part 2. It is usually easy to detect, but can be difficult to know if they operate with precision. In either case, make an appointment with a doctor to get professional opinion and take medication. If prescribed, to eliminate the possibility of the source being a mental illness. If so, the issue is being addressed. If the source is electronic harassment, you've covered all the bases and balanced the chemicals in your brain with the medication. Now, I have to disagree with that a little bit, okay? Because I have Jew weapons as well. The voices started very loud, like the beginning of a test, like they didn't really know what they were doing. And it was really loud. And it was just one voice here, one voice there. And then once they started doing their research, they figured out, well, we'll just tweak this and tweak that. And then everything started following what I was doing. So when they ran out of people, 7 years, they were eventually going to run out of people on my contact list, right? Because I didn't talk to anybody because everybody stopped talking to me after I got my divorce. Actually, they stopped coming over, like before we even got divorced. We used to have people over all the time, constantly, and having parties and barbecues, and everybody just stopped coming over. And anyway, so they have used up everybody I know. Because I didn't hang out with anybody. I didn't go out and do anything with anybody. I was so scared. And so then when I lived in my place prior, they started using, like, they found certain things. They'd bring up again, like, my stepsister, Tara Lee Lind, who says, oh, you need to get sober? Screw you, Tara. Get your head out of your butt. Get sober. Who told you that? See? Goes around and around. Right, Jimmy? So anyway, they started using her. It's me. It's that stepsister of ours, Heather. It's my mom. It's your stepmom. And then I heard Tara for like 3 months. Her name and a couple, 5, 6 other people's names. They'd change it. When I go to sleep, they'd change it. When I get ready and my heart rate's low and I'm just relaxing or whatever, they'll start with this angelic voice like, please. Come on. It's so, ugh. They've been doing it forever. So I disagree with that. I truly believe if you really are hearing all these voices in your head of your family members and they're screaming at each other and there's, stuff like that, that is V2K. Especially if you're getting the Jew weapons as well, right along with it, like I did. So started out like that. It's crazy. At first, initial signs. At first, they will talk to you in an effort to keep you calm. All of this can be a lot to handle. It took me a long time to get used to hearing people talk to me wirelessly. You'll be constant contact with them 24 hours a day and 7 days a week. They will talk to you looking for a response and intermingle perceived external noises. Okay? So, as you become more familiar with I just said this. As you become more familiar with their capabilities, you will notice their ability to manipulate sound. Like I've heard gunshots. I have heard loud cars flying by. I have heard helicopters. I have heard dogs barking. I have heard, what other things have I heard? Scratching, like there was a monster coming over John's house the night before I got electronically raped, wirelessly raped, both nights in a row. Yep. Yeah. So, they will use this to create conflict with a friend, a neighbor, work colleague, or family member. To create an environment of chaos and increase the likelihood of a traumatic experience. In those instances, people react in different ways under extreme pressure. So when I was still with Larry and we were married, I would sleep on the ottoman and a lot. And because we'd fight even when I go into bed and try to get my own pillow, he'd bitch at me and tried to suffocate me once. Even when I was laying in bed with him, they would somehow visually mess with my visual perception to where, because I seen holograms all the time in the beginning and everybody thought I was crazy, and I'm like, I'm not, because I still see stuff. So, but this is more like shadows now. It's not like actual like I was seeing bears, like not real bear, but to me, I was like, what the, because I was so scared. And so anyway, so they tried to make me think that Larry was seeing Carrie Tetnowski. Carrie'd come over all makeuped up in our garage. She'd be standing next to Larry, and I'm going, this is bizarre. Are they manipulating them? Are they really doing that? I don't really care right now. All I care is to bring awareness to people about this. So I thought Carrie and Larry had a baby. They were so bad, and the way that Carrie and Larry were acting. And you know what? Carrie Brown Tetnowski that works at RJ's and Mora, let me tell you something. You're trying to play mom to my son when he's got a mother. And another thing, why were you texting Larry, my husband at the time, when we were at Purse Bingo? Huh? 60 times. Well, I was with Miss Carrie Brown Tetnowski, my matron of honor in my wedding. Why were you texting my husband, and why was my husband texting you back? He answered your text in 1 second. Do you remember that circus, Carrie and Larry? Do you remember that circus? When I wanted your phone so I could see what the heck you guys were saying to each other? No. And then I found an app for like $2 that you could download so you could reboot your messages up so I could see what you two were talking about. Oh, I don't want to lose my Aunt Mary's voicemail. What was going on there, Carrie and Larry? So then people are like, you hated each other. You two never liked each other. And then all of a sudden you're coming over to my house all dolled up, acting like you're Larry's best friend? How dare you? You are nasty. 60 times. I still have the phone that says your number to Larry, the day, the time, and how many. 61. Well, I was sitting next to you playing Purse Bingo. Explain that one. And then everybody's like, you're nuts, Karen. What are you talking about? Okay. Okay, so then it says, it starts with you hearing just them, then progresses to them voicing your thoughts internally. In other words, they attempt to narrate your thinking process in effort to create a dependency in hopes of manipulating and controlling your reaction and leading you in a certain direction. Once they have established the verbal narration, they will speak for you, mix in their interpretation of or version, and then quiz you to see if what was said originated from you or was derived by them. They can play this game for years by wasting your time and asking you the origin of the thought after each exercise. They string you along and keep you in a discussion of conversation by inquiring about the origin. One way around this is the concept of individualism. That is, you are solely responsible for the outcome of the harassment and decisions thereafter. In other words, stupid little bugs. In other words, individualism dictates that what is important is the outcome of the thought, rather than if it was originated or constructed by you or them. In order to do this effectively, one must be at peace with oneself. Be a good person, have a good heart. You concentrate on the implications of the outcome and whether or not your conscience can accept that outcome and live with the result. Live with the result that I thought my ex-husband was running around sleeping with Carrie Tetnowski and they had a baby. And yeah. But when you put all the other pieces that I visualized of her coming over, wanting to spend the night that night with me, go home to your husband. She wanted to spend the night that night. Go home to Darwin. Why would you want to sleep over at my house? And when they steer the thought in the wrong direction, you can disengage because you have the confidence in yourself that you would never derive a negative thought in that fashion and arrive at that conclusion. They're going to take your mind for a wild ride, kind of like Jimmy Kohler's book. He even said it. Hey! You stay off the table. No. He's doing better though. So anyway, they're going to take your mind for a wild ride. And you need to have the ability to stop and take an accurate and rational assessment of your surroundings and situations. Okay, so when they took my mind on a wild ride in the beginning, when I had no clue what this was, I was driving all over the place, leaving my car running in some I'm going to go see him. I'm going to go see him, and I'm going to talk to him, and I'm going to bring my books, and I'm going to be like, do you remember me? I was the girl 5, 6 years ago, 7 years ago that ran into your back porch in fear for my life. Here is my website. Here is my card. Here is a flyer. And do you have time to sit down and let me show you some things? So while I was driving around, when Larry had to come get my van at Rough Cuts because the police called him and told him. That's another reporting that stated I said there was a bomb in my van. Could you imagine? Not only at Living Hope Church in broad daylight right down the street from my house. They told me to leave. It was my daughter's voice then. Ashley Ray Forencam's voice, stating, Mom, leave your purse here. So I'm at the front door of the Living Hope Church. I have my van through the parking lot on the dirt road because I ran out of my van because they continued to say there's a bomb in your van. Could you imagine driving your vehicle sober, not knowing what's going on? Sober doesn't have nothing to do with that. I should stop saying that. Sorry. I need to stop saying that. There's a bomb in your van. They told me to leave my purse at the front door of Living Hope Church in Mora there on County Road 11, which I know the people there now, and to take my glasses off because it's in my glasses, and leave your glasses in your purse, and walk to the stop sign there on 23 because Terry Nelson's coming to get you. I'm coming to get you, Karen. I'm on my way, Karen. I'm coming to get you. And I actually walked to the stop sign and thought, this is crazy, Karen. What are you doing? Turn around. Get back. Then I had to sit there and try and get my purse and my glasses back on and stand there terrified to get in my own van because there's a bomb in it. That's just one wild ride out of the 20,000 wild rides that I've been on. Where is she, Carrie? I'll go give her some gas. That's when I was driving around all over by Jackson Boston's freaking house. What, so they could try to get me in trouble in another county? So then I'd have 3 different charges in 3 different counties. Wow. But guess what? You lost. So they say, try to take the mature approach. Trust me. No matter how hard it is, you try and take the more mature approach and realize you're going to be okay. You have to be. Okay? It's going to be very scary, and it's probably very scary right now, but let me tell you something. I ran for my life for months with no one to talk to, no job. My dogs were dying. They were puking and pooping all over the house. My husband was harassing me. My son didn't even come around, only to spend the night every now and then and take a shower. But he called the cops on me because he was worried about me. Remember that little incident I told you all about? So, yeah, I've been on many wild rides, and you'll probably hear more of them. I have a lot of it documented too. I did write them down. I have notebooks that I found when I moved from 2018 of me writing down what was going on. Practice self-awareness in search of realization, okay? You control the outcome. You scan the inputs and make your own conclusion. You are responsible for living with the decisions that are made. Okay? So the ability to this does not happen overnight, and it doesn't. Me, get out of there. Fuckers. That has got to be moved today. Oh, you're ruining my plan for Irene. You keep ruining my plan for Irene. I got to move that because there's a little string that the light, and it's a little silver ball. Well, hello, cat toy. I mean, I like shiny things too, you know. Oh, but I got to move it, so that's my fault. So anyway, you know, I hope I'm helping. Like I said, I'm just trying to bring awareness to people. I've been sending this via messenger to friends of mine, and I don't know if they're receiving it or not because they can block it. They really can. Because I don't get any comments from them. So that's why I'm going to do it by mail, because they can't stop the mail. They can't stop 400 letters getting out. And when every single business and more receives this with my business card saying I'm an advocate and my adversary is for targeted individuals, my name and my email, my P.O. box that I'm going to get, Because I'm not ashamed of who I am. I'm not ashamed of being a targeted person. Why should I be ashamed of it? Be ashamed of something that I never signed up for? Why should I be ashamed of something that I can't even control? I can try to control it, but let me tell you, again, this is very painful. The Voice to Skull program is very exhausting. Especially when it's been going on for me for 7 years and doesn't stop. To the point where I play music, it comes out of the music. Even when I turn it up, and then then it calms down, and then when I play faster music, it's just rides, it piggybacks. So I just hope that this is helping. They begin talking to you, looking for a reaction. Now that's what they did in the beginning. It was almost like they were real people. Now it's more of a recording. A script, according to my algorithm on my BCI. It's like yeah. So anyway, yeah, they are looking for patterns and your buttons to press. Well, yeah, they know what buttons to press for me. My children mean the world to me. My family I miss dearly. My dad, I've been looking for him for years and wondering why he threw me away. My daughter threw me away, have no idea why. She's telling me lies, or is it her actually telling me lies off her phone? I don't really care, but let me tell you something. No, I just got off track. Squirrel. My buttons, okay. They know I do not lie. They know I have lied, but I, for the most part, no. They know I hate lies. They did that to me all the time. They know that I love family. They know that I like my friends. They know I like to entertain. I mean, they know that I like to help people. They know that I do a good job at my job. And I beat them. I'm successful. I have my own home. I have a brand new car that I pay cash for. I know not to be pride. God doesn't like that. But it's the whole situation. And I went through this and achieved all of this while going through this. And you can too. I have been up all night long before, being tortured. I have gone to work before, trembling from the inside out and burning everywhere. Barely able to walk. And I went to work. But they will try to press all of your buttons with me, with the Voice to Skull, like your son's going to kill himself. It's your brother, it's your sister, it's your daughter. They voice more of their voices because that's what that means. They're find your buttons to press. Lies, pain. Well, I can take pain, but they say that it's for your safety, but it's not. The device they are using is like operating a plane or tank. There is a driver and there is a gunner. One guy attempts to drive while the other one fires. One of them will talk to you and the other will attempt to speak for you. They will do this 24/7 in hopes of creating a dependency and that you get used to using your brain in that fashion. In my opinion, it is slow, insulting to my intelligence, and a waste of time. I highly recommend not talking to them. In the beginning, oh my gosh. I threw my bed frame down the stairs because I thought it was the metal on my bed. I thought they wrapped my house with electrodes and placed some batteries and hid them underneath my stairs under where the dirt was in the mudroom. That I was like, I was down looking like I was some meth head geek freaking wigged out. And I was, and I'm like, I'm not kidding. It's not funny. When they did their broadcast, they could I was looking outside of this big oak tree and I'd be sitting in my ottoman and I could look outside and the front of my tree, the leaves from the broadcasting on that looked like a lady's face. I shit you not. I have that documented. I'm like going, I'm gonna help you. And it looked like Carla Schlegel. They do the weirdest things to press your buttons to make sure you have nowhere to turn, or if you do go to turn to that person is going to look at you and go, you are crazy. And that's what this program wants you to do. But if you do your research and you present it in some type of way, some will and some will not believe you. But don't stop trying. Whew, I can make a movie. Yeah, they will probe you and toss around subject matter with opposing arguments in an effort to create a mental path that can be exploited later by going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. Like I was saying, then I hear it was my sister, Tara, and I heard that like 3 months prior, and then they brought it back. You know, it's like a series. It's like, give it up, would ya? Give it up. It's like a series. You know, now again, it's, what is the Voice to Skull program now? I've heard it's Lindsay Graber again, and Jessica Riedel have been doing this to people. Then they bring back Rocky and Rachel Ammerman, and I'm just going, oh, please. I will expand upon the ramifications of this later. At the same time, they gather information on your life to learn how you operate and determine what makes you tick.